Well, fuel prices have already been going up very sharply over the summer, Bev, almost unnoticed by the mainstream media, but certainly noticed by people filling up their family cars and vans. Let's have a look at some of the numbers. So already oil prices have gone up from $70 a barrel to $90 a barrel since June. That's a very steep, almost 30% rise. Petrol has increased during this time from $1.47 to $1.56 a litre. Diesel up even more, as any van driver will tell you, from $1.45 to $1.62 on average so far in October. Why are oil prices going up? Oil prices aren't going up because the world economy is going gangbusters and people are demanding lots of oil. The world economy is slowing down. But oil prices are rising because the OPEC exporters cartel, that's a lot of mainly Arab countries led by the Saudis, they're working with the Russians, another major energy exporter, to deliberately restrict supply getting onto global markets to keep prices high. They make more money, they put pressure on the West, they're angry about the West's response to the war in Ukraine, and then on top of that, as you said, Emily, we've had this instability in the Middle East between Israel and Hamas. Now, where do the Iranians fit in? The Iranians said yesterday they could fight this war on other fronts. The Iranians control Hezbollah in Lebanon. They control Hamas. They also control the biggest global pinch point for oil in the world. This is the Persian Gulf. You can see Iran there to the north, Qatar, a massive gas exporter. You see the oil tankers there going through that very narrow part of the sea called the Straits of Hormuz from the Persian Gulf there. The Persian Gulf supplies around 20% of the world's oil and gas. Energy is absolutely crucial. And that Straits of Hormuz, that accounts for about 25% of the world's oil every single day goes through that little tiny gap in the sea and onto global markets, onto the Indian Ocean and onto global markets. Now, when Iran says we might now fight this war on other fronts, what Iran is saying, right, in no uncertain terms, is that they will mine the Straits of Hormuz. They will block the Straits of Hormuz. We know the American Navy fleet is in Bahrain. There could then be absolute escalation of this conflict because this is, in some ways, obviously tremendous, awful humanitarian disaster. We must keep our focus on that. But the economic implications of this will massively impact the West's response because there's a cost of living crisis. And in Western democracies, people are suffering with this cost of living crisis. Now, Iran knows that. And if Iran decides to block those Straits of Hormuz, it could do massive damage to the global economy. The Americans don't want that to happen. And this kind of proxy war, if you like, with the Americans backing Israel and Iran backing Hamas, could then explode economically. For now, the oil markets are going up because of OPEC and because of fears. But if the Straits of Hormuz are blocked by the Iranians, and a lot of people in global oil markets are concerned that they will, then the economics of this could trump even the ghastly humanitarian issues that we're seeing on our screens.
Liam, are you saying a quarter of the world's global supply of oil could go?
Well, what I'm saying, Emily, because it's a fact, and it's been a fact for many years, the Persian Gulf is so crucial. It's how the Saudis get their oil out. It's how the Kuwaitis get their oil out. It's how, United Arab Emirates gets their oil out. It's how Qatar, one of the world's biggest natural gas exporters, gets its gas out. What I'm saying, because it's a fact, is that a quarter of the world's oil every day goes through that narrow gap, that pinch point of the global economy. That is the Adam's apple, the throat of the global economy. If the Iranians control that, OK, and if they choose to mine the Straits of Hormuz, I'm not saying it's going to happen, I'm saying the fear is there. If they choose to really get nasty in terms of supporting Hamas against Israel / the Americans as they see it, then we could have a severe escalation in fuel prices. People on, petrol could escalate. All kinds of energy prices could escalate. The cost of natural gas, where we heat our homes. Natural gas generates 40% of our electricity in this country. Natural gas is what kicks in when the wind doesn't blow and the sun doesn't shine. Look, I'm not being alarmist here. I'm just telling you what I know is going on in global oil markets.
The consequences could be, well, tremendous.
Absolutely. And Liam brilliantly explained, as always.